Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about what does forgive the Father for they know not what they do mean, and I'm going to give my personal opinion on it. If you hear the noise in the background, I have to have music in the background because with community games talking, they be trying to listen to every word I say through the walls, and I'm already an introvert, so that makes me kind of feel uncomfortable or whatever. So I just said it, but I'm gonna try to hold the phone as closely as I can so you guys can hear me better. Okay, so I want to talk about forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Okay, you have to think about it like this. When people think of God, I think they think of this big heavenly being who just loves you no matter what you do, keeps on forgiving you over and over, and will never send you to hell because God is love, and that's not what it is. Yes, He is all of those things, but He's also very strict and He's real, just like I'm real as an earth angel. Empaths are real as empaths. We love on a different level. We um, feel things on a different level. We're highly sensitive. Most of us don't belong here because we're not from here and we're misunderstood a lot. We also are very, very real. A lot of people don't like empaths, and I'm taking the Hayoka out of it for a second. Just in general, all empaths have this trait where we call stuff out. We call people out or whatever, and people don't like our truth. People cannot like us for this reason or that reason, but most of the time, we are the ones that are scapegoated, the ones that kind of get it together, take a long time to get it together, I guess you say that or whatever, and people tend to judge us and take their insecurities out on us and tend to blame us for everything where other people do some of the same things, but they just want somebody they can scapegoat and point the finger at. And because empaths are the most sensitive, we are the ones that usually get scapegoated. So I'll just say that. Okay, now when you talk about forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, you have to think about it like this. God is real. He has emotions just like we do when He was down on this earth. Of course, He's on a higher level where, I mean, He's God. We can't compare Him, but when He was down here in the physical, of course, He had a God mind or whatever, a holy mind, but He was in the physical. So you have to ask yourself this. And I had to, something just popped into my head. I wanted to get online and talk about this. Do you really think, now think real hard, go back and look at the Passion of Christ if you have to. Think real hard. Do you really think that when, I call him Yeshua, you guys call him Jesus, but when Yeshua was on that cross, getting beat, thorns on his head, getting slashed like that, nailed to the cross, did he, in this physical body, I'm not talking about what they tell you, he was God, so he was above it, but in his physical body, do you really think all them cuts, he could feel that, and he was gonna say, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And He came out here to die for us and teach us, and then they did him like that, like worse than a dog. And that's the Messiah. Do you really think that He was sitting up there praying for them? That's why I said certain things in the Bible, you have to take it here and there. Yes, I have a strong connection to God. Your intuition and your intuition, your third eye is what connects you to God or whatever. That's the God in you, your soul. But in general, it's like you gotta, when your third eye is open, you gotta use your common sense. Hey, okay, think of the nicest person you know, even if they're not God, but in a physical body. Think of the nicest person you know, or think back to your past, a person that was kind of like a pushover, got bullied a lot. I think of somebody in an abusive relationship who was real godly or couldn't fight back. Do you really think that a person like that is gonna get slashed and beat and whipped, and you're gonna pray? Even me as a spiritual being, I'm not. I'm real. I'm in a human body. You're gonna be. You might even curse them and be like, "Hate you, if you." Like, I'm just being honest. I'm not saying that he did that, but let's just be real. To me, that was written in there to like maybe back with slavery days, to say that they wanted to train the slaves, to think you just forgive them no matter what they do. God is not like that. If God, I keep saying, if God kicks Satan out of heaven for hating, that means that He feels a certain way about people that have malice in their heart. I'm not talking about people that gossip, but people purposely who look at other people and prey on their downfall. So that already kind of like lets you know where you stand with God, especially if you gang stalking. I don't want y'all to think, well, I don't care what y'all think, But I don't want y'all to think that I'm just saying that on a level like I want y'all to stop or whatever. Because of course I don't want gang stalkers or people who don't know me to watch me all day outside. But in general, it's kind of like that's how God feels about you. He see you laughing and she thinks she better, blah 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 blah, and elevating and stuff like that, and trying to purposely annoy a person to piss them off. It's like, what type of mind frame you have? And I said that plenty of times before. That's a reptilian brain. And I think what happens with gang stalkers is that they do it so long that it becomes like routine. And it, because I know that they be hearing what I'm saying online, even the people that's doing black magic on my channel, they say that, but because they're narcissists, which is another word for a demon or a devil, because they don't have any empathy or whatever. Empathy is what connects you to God. Empathy is what makes you a godly person because you feel bad about what you do. But you can feel bad about doing something and stop. But the fact that you know what you're doing isn't right, you don't care whether you're getting paid or whether you're doing it because you're just a low life and don't have nothing else to do, or the devil's taking you over, you know it's not right, but you still doing it, and you know God watching you, and you've been given several warnings, but you still doing it all day every day. And the purpose of it is to pray on somebody's downfall and annoy a person all day, and you see how it looks, but instead of having some integrity, you don't stop. And that's what I'm saying. It's like that's why when I started my platform, I had to make it be known that I'm very, very real. I'm down to earth. I'm gonna say it how it is. I'll say my channel messages, but I'm not gonna get on here and fake it front. These people throw shots at me and say, "Oh, you listen to the music, but you're exposing the transgenders." Okay, but I watch the movies too. Okay, people will say something like, what else they say? Probably because I talk fast. Oh, she doing drugs and stuff like that. I talk. Empaths, a lot of empaths tend to naturally talk fast. Of course, when you take X pills, you're going to talk fast, but I don't take X pills anymore or nothing like that. I don't even smoke anymore. So it's like when I take caffeine as an empath, that kind of, how did I look it up online? What did they say? It affects you way more different than an average person. And also, what I want to say too, because sometimes I'll be dazing out when I be talking. What I want to say? Yeah, naturally I talk fast, and then also the caffeine and stuff, it makes me talk even faster sometimes. And then even without caffeine or anything like that, sometimes it's hard for me to sleep, and it's like that in the past. Before, it'll take me, like, sometimes I'll be up for 2 days, and that's even without drugs or something like this. So I don't have to prove to nobody. People over here in gang stalking already know I don't do no drugs because they watch me every day. Even neighbors and stuff like that. Every move from when I walk out the house to take out the trash, they see everything I do. So, but you don't know. People who don't stay over here and don't gang stalk don't know me. So I don't really want to explain it, because it's like, whatever. I'm only mentioning this because a psychic said that somebody online said that or whatever, thinks that I'm lying about this. So whatever, think what you want to think. Anyway, but like, let me get back to what I was saying. Like, forgiving Father, like, God has a very genuine, raw realness to him, and he gets very, very angry too. And he hates devils, he hates evil, he hates liars, he hates people that hate. So that's something to think about. God did not get, and this is my opinion, I don't want nobody to say she blaspheming, and you can say whatever you want, but I don't believe that the Most High Son got on the cross and was getting beat and had nails in his head, and big old nails all drilled through his arm. He was praying for them. So that means that God doesn't want us to pray for our enemies either. To a certain extent, if somebody hurts you, and it's a certain level where it's like y'all have a bond or something, and you want to pray and get the bond back, and it wasn't that bad, but God don't want me to sit up here and pray for people that tried to kill me, or pray for gang stalkers and stuff like that. Pray them away, or pray that they, I'm not even gonna say I pray for your death, even though that needs to happen because they won't stop. But let's just get real. This is a spiritual battle between good and evil, and we're on the physical realm. I'm not gonna pray for nobody that is purposely trying to annoy me, purposely wants to see me get out of character and go off. Like the psychic said, be careful and mindful of everything you do, because it's gonna come out of nowhere. nowhere where somebody's gonna try to piss you off, make you off, whatever. And I don't see what more they can do now because this gang stalking is getting on my nerve. But like, people need to stop taking the Bible out of context. Use your common sense. Use your common sense, and that's what God is telling you. Because remember, the Bible is man-made. You know what's right, you know what makes sense, you know what's wrong. It don't make no sense for us to pray for our enemies. So I just wanted to make this quick message because